Journaling is the most efficient way to organize and plan your life. Use one notebook for everything, and losing sticky notes is a thing of the past, as is reorganizing your entire life into this or that app every couple of months. Screen time gets cut way down and life satisfaction goes way up. Your kids will be happier too. But first, let's talk about a few definitions. A journal is defined as a daily record of news and events of a personal nature, a diary. A diary is defined as a book in which one keeps a daily record of events and experiences. A planner is defined as a list or chart with information that is an aid to planning. The word diary as we know it was first used in 1605, but the handwritten book that we think of when we hear the word diary evolved much sooner, over 4,500 years ago in ancient Egypt. An inspector by the name Murr kept a journal on papyrus. It was found in 2013 and is currently the oldest known papyri containing text, and describes transporting limestone, presumably for the pyramids, from Tura to Giza. One of the more popular examples of a diary belongs to Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who was born in 121 AD. It was titled To Himself and not meant for public consumption. His diary entries were prolific enough that we can discern his daily routine and learn about his successes from it. In medieval times, magicians used diaries to record their spiritual interpretations of current events. During the Renaissance, diaries were used to write down private opinions. Leonardo da Vinci kept extensive journals that are one of his greatest gifts to humanity. The first scientific journal was published in 1665, when a member of the Royal Society decided to draw up notes from a meeting and publish them for the members who couldn't attend. In the 18th century, most diaries were kept by men about businesses and farming. The first diary was published in 1818, John Evelyn's record of his life. Samuel Pepys kept a journal in the 17th century that is now the earliest example of diaries that is still commonly read today. It contains a first-hand account of the Great Fire of London and the Great Plague side by side with more mundane matters like squabbles with his wife. It was published in 1825. From there, diary keeping exploded in popularity. Diary keeping became popular in the 18th century and exploded during the Victorian era, not just for men, but for women too. And soon novels published in a diary-like format and style began to be published, like Samuel Richardson's Pamela and Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. In 1978, Christine Rayner published The New Diary. It was a popular journaling guide that remained the most complete and accessible information on how to use a journal for self-discovery and exploration for many years. In the 1980s, journaling took a psychological turn when a psychologist in New York City named Dr. Ira Progoff began offering workshops for the intensive journal, which was formatted in a 3-ring binder with different color-coded sections for different aspects of the journaler's life. It was also in the 1980s that teachers started assigning their students journaling homework from elementary all the way to college level. Anyone looking to improve any area of their life has probably seen the advice to start a journal. That's because journaling has so many proven benefits. Journaling is known to reduce stress, improve immune function, make us less stressed and anxious, lead to higher life satisfaction and higher earning, increased memory, better mood, better emotional health, boost self-awareness by helping us become aware of our thought patterns, improve writing, improve communication, improve relationships, and improve memory. These are just a few of the many benefits of keeping a journal that have actual scientific studies associated with them. When I read my old journals, I'm brought right back to when I wrote it. Even if it's not on video and the memory is long forgotten, seeing my handwriting and reading my words brings all of those memories alive. I remember being huddled up in a coffee shop or quiet corner of my house, scribbling the words. I have to be careful what I record because all of the emotions come bubbling back up with the words as I read them. This is something that digital records lack. The loss of handwriting and the tangible paper beneath my palms takes away a lot of the magic that journaling keeping holds. I find enormous benefits in not just writing about the things that have already occurred in my journal, but using it to plan the week ahead as well. Decision fatigue quickly takes over, especially with a little one in the house, and it's so helpful to have plans written down to refer back to. I plan the activities I do with my toddler in my book as well as our meals. I keep track of my husband's appointments and the weather so I can plan our days around these factors. When I'm working to improve any area of my life, I journal about it and set up a way to track my progress or lack thereof. Using a journal is a great way to get immediate feedback on your habits, and it's an essential tool in experimenting your way to a better you. In addition, keeping a diary is also a great way to leave a legacy. I never met my paternal grandfather, but I feel like I know him because of the letters I found in my grandma's barn when I was 19 years old. My grandfather wrote my grandmother every day when he was stationed in Hawaii during World War II, and you can imagine they were diary-like in nature. Even though my grandfather died before I was born, I have a piece of him. Reading the words he wrote in his own handwriting, on paper, he touched, gave me a relationship with him I never would have had otherwise. And one of the best parts about keeping a journal is that I don't need batteries or cell service to journal. Blue light from electronics has been proven to be hard on our eyes. The more I look at screens, the more my eyes sting at the end of the day. Also, phones and tablets and computers are distracting. Several notifications pop up every minute, and social media is just a thought and a swipe away. Paper journals are great for first thing or last thing in the morning before phone or screen use. And they're also great for breaks from screen use. My journal is frequently out when I'm on my computer to keep me on task. Keeping a journal in cursive has so many additional advantages that we'll cover in Lesson 5. But I'll leave you with this. If you're ever accused of a crime, you'll know right where you were on that cold winter's night at 10 p.m. and what you had for dinner.